Hey, so if you found a small channel like myself talking about Digimon Time Stranger, you're probably down a rabbit hole, down a journey, trying to figure out if you want to play this game, and I'm here to tell you this game is amazing. Now, the reason I'm facing this wall is because this video is not spoiler friendly, but I am going to talk about, the good parts about this game. I'm probably going to gush over it quite a bit. I'm going to touch on some of the bad parts, and then I'm probably going to close it out with a bit more gushing right before, I'm done. But I did want to say that this is not a spoiler friendly video. I think I'm almost midway through the game, and so I just wanted to mention that before I flip my camera around. Cool. With that said, this game is so good. There's so much about this game that feels good. The combat system, the look and feel, the fact that I can just like ride the Digimon, awesome, right? So many cool things. Their battle system, what they decided to do with it is just so nice, especially if you're coming off of a similar title that doesn't have speed up on battle, so it doesn't have auto battle for some of the more grindy sections. And I think the way that auto battle was incorporated while also maintaining a level of challenge in the battles, especially the boss battles, is so nice. I'm playing on balance mode. Obviously, most of these kind of in the middle of the world sections are not going to be the most challenging thing in the world, and I think like it's okay, and I think that's it. It shouldn't be like these encounters should not be like a bunch of mini boss battles. Like after a while it does make sense that it's going to be pretty easy for you to beat this up. But the satisfying part is, as you saw, all those things that kind of like came on the right side on my screen, when you are repeatedly battling things, you are scanning them, right? So every single time I battle a Digimon, my scan rate for that Digimon goes up, and when that scan rate reaches 100, you can get that Digimon. When it reaches 200, you get that Digimon with better stats, or you can get like more rare abilities, like personality abilities and things like that. It's really rewarding. Like the grind is rewarding in so many ways because of a few interesting things that I think that they did. Number one, when you get into a battle, you're fighting multiple Digimon a lot of the time. Like I think more often than not. So like here, I'm gonna attack one, and we're gonna see if it's really one. so sometimes it's really one, but sometimes you'll run into like 2-3 Digimon per battle, and sometimes you'll run into Digimon that you don't actually see in the overworld, but that are kind of like hidden within these encounters. So that there is like rare ones, but then there's also ones that just like you just don't maybe see in this section, but you will see when you're battling or when you're going into one of these encounters, and that's really rewarding. That's really cool. It helps you level up Digimon that maybe you missed in a different section through just like the process of grinding. And then when you're done, you get a bunch of rewards. You get to level up a bunch of Digimon, all of the Digimon that you own basically that are in your box. So like here's everything that I've converted so far. These are all gaining levels as I am just fighting with my battle members and reserve members. There's agent skills that allow you to increase the percent XP rate of like your reserve members, for example, as well as like just per Digimon type. You'll get like a EXP up, and I can just kind of show you that here. You can see on the right, if I can get to it, this will boost the XP rate of in training, battle, and reserve Digimon. So that means and all of these raise it by reserve. So by leveling all these up, I have like a 12% increase to the XP rate of every Digimon that I put basically in this section, right? So that's really, really nice. Also, just your whole box leveling up is really nice, because what'll happen is you're grinding and it doesn't feel like a waste. Like it doesn't feel monotonous and wasteful, because you're getting the ability to digivolve so many things, and that's awesome, right? Like just the ability to be able to do that feels so good, and I think is part of what makes this game feel so good. When you're battling, the grind feels as rewarding as it can be grindy at times. I also don't even know if I should be grinding. That's another thing that I want to touch on. This game makes me want to grind. Like it makes me want to stop in these sections, because what will happen is that you'll have like a story section where you're going into a town or you're kind of in an environment, and then you'll run into a section where there's a bunch of Digimon to battle. And this game makes me want to slow down and like scan, to 200% all of the Digimon in the area. Somebody said in a video, which I thought was really funny, that for as beautiful as this game looks, it sucks that they make you spend so much time. Oh, there's a special one there's what I mean. So sometimes you'll get into a battle and there'll be a special Digimon there. I think this one runs away if you don't kill it soon enough, but I think we're gonna be able to kill it. They can be slippery and they can have like randomly like good resists. But okay, we killed it. My scan rate's at 45% for that, but yeah, I got a bunch of yen from that, so would love to see the random encounters like that. But generally, like, what was I saying? I think the grind of this game feels so good, and it makes me want to stop because it gives you so many rewards, and you're just getting through so much content as you grind even these sections. Oh wait, that's what I was saying. Somebody said that for as beautiful as this game is, it sucks that they make you spend so many time in the sewers. Okay, the beginning section of this game, I did spend a lot of time in a sewer because that's just where the game story was taking place. I do think in this med section, I mean, I'm spending a lot of time in here, like in this kind of really colorful, vibrant world, which feels like a breath of fresh air after being in a sewer for such a long time. So I think visually it's really engaging. I think visually it looks amazing. Like, I mean, the battle effects look amazing. Some of the abilities, I've seen some abilities on, you know, TikTok and YouTube here and there that I'm trying not to, you know, spoil too much for myself, but some of those abilities look amazing. It's insane. And it's just so nice. So not only is it kind of like a vibe to grind through, but I think everything about the battle system was just done really well. Because when you do get into those boss battles where it's a little bit more challenging, I guess. Why does it say to go up there? I'll check that out. Once you do get into those boss battles where it's a little bit more challenging, you actually do have to sit down and think. Like, if you're using the wrong Digimon types, you'll get one shot or you won't do any damage, and then you'll get, like, you know, destroyed. So there are areas where you have to stop and be like, okay, now it's time to turn on my brain. We're not just scanning Digimon, lock in for a bit. And I'm just unbalanced, so I don't know if, you know, playing on hard, you know, how that feels. I'm probably going to replay this on hard just to, like, see what it's like. But I went with balance because I've never actually played a Digimon game before since, I mean, maybe since when I was a little kid, but definitely not in my, like, you know, teen or adulthood years. So this is the first Digimon game I'm playing, I guess, of this era. But just such a nice, what is it, like, change of pace. And it's so nice to see such a competitive game in the monster catching genre just do so well, like, just do so many things so well. Now that I've gushed about it for quite a bit, and there's also a lot more to just say about the game, but now that I've gushed about it for quite a bit, I will kind of touch on some of the bad parts. And sorry, I had to mute there for a second. One bad part that maybe isn't really super related to the game is, I will say this game has a lot of paid DLC for a $70 title. I can't gush about the game without saying that. I think it's a lot of paid DLC for a $70 title. Don't get me wrong, I mean, beautiful game. I mean, they definitely delivered on the gameplay, on just like some of the cutscenes look beautiful. I think it's like, it's hard for me to, you know, admit that like it felt worth my $70 or whatever, but I am getting my money's worth so far. I just don't think I can wrap my head around paying even more, like, for all of the DLC or like the season pack, and the fact that there's like going to be season drops with like more Digimon and stuff like that. Like in a world 5-6 years ago, that would have been so dope. Today, I just feel like that is a tall ask, I guess. But you know, I have to mention that. But I think, you know, I'm enjoying the base game, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of fun and joy out of the base game. So I'm trying to not maybe think about that too much, because it's not required. Like, you don't have to buy it, even though it kind of feels like you should. You really don't. I'm not gonna progress the story, actually, just so I don't kind of ruin too much of the you know, of the story for you guys. Other kind of bad thing is, I would say, wow, am I really blanking? Am I really saying there's kind of nothing else bad other than just the price and the amount of, you know, maybe DLC? I would say, like, you know what? Yeah, I think that's probably the worst thing. Maybe I'm just liking this game too much, but I think that's the worst thing I can think of. And the only other kind of, like, you know, negative that I'll touch on is, I don't really get the in-between Maybe I'm just understanding it very incorrectly, but feels like kind of a whatever function given how easy it is to grind. And maybe that's my problem. Maybe my problem is that I am grinding and I should be using it in between more. Maybe it'll become more relevant later. But so far, again, I think I'm about maybe midway through the game. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe a little bit less than midway. So far, it feels kind of not super relevant. Oh, I'm gonna write something. Hold on. Okay, cool. So far, it doesn't feel super relevant to my gameplay. The only thing that it kind of functions as is if I am, for whatever reason, running low on HP capsules or something, then I will use the in-between to buy some more. But that's, I think, about all that I've really focused on it. Like, I put some Digimon in there because I kind of thought that if I had them in there, they would like grow levels faster or something. But I really don't. I don't feel the point of the in-between, I guess, is what I will say. Like, not too much. But yeah, like, other than that, I can't complain about a ton of the game. Here's the guy that makes the little training items, and you know, that kind of made me realize like the amount of resources I need for this. I don't even have them, so that's why I've also not been using them too much. Like, I didn't have any, or I didn't have enough when I was first looking into the in-between, and I definitely don't have enough now because I don't have the materials to build them. So yeah, maybe it'll become more relevant later. Maybe it's just harder to level up Digimon later on. But so far, been a really great experience with this game, and with like the progression in this game, just overall feels really, really good. So yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence about buying this, I would definitely give it a try, especially if you're into like these kinds of games, right? Like Metaphor Fantasia, Persona, Pokemon. I think you're gonna love this game. If you're into Pokemon, I mean, this game, to me, this is maybe a strong statement. Maybe I'm finishing the video on a bit of a hot take, but if you're into Pokemon, this game to me is like replacing my want or need or itch for ever playing Pokemon Legends C to A. I just, you know, I love Pokemon as like from like a nostalgia standpoint, but as a game, like if I were to take the Pokemon IP away, and I know maybe that's even kind of an oxymoron, or not an oxymoron, I don't know what to call it. Like, maybe that's the point. Maybe the IP is the entire point. But if I was to take the Pokemon IP away from the Pokemon game mechanics, I would never play any Pokemon game. Not in 2025. Not when you have, you know, turn-based systems like Expedition 33 or like what's it called, Bravely Default, or this, you know, like Time Stranger, or, you know, not in a world where turn-based combat has how do I put it, like, you know, evolved so much. I'm not gonna just, you know, buy a thing that like basically is an auto battler with like no you know, I don't know, like no point in or sorry, like no like innovation, I guess, in the way that it does it. And also like the Pokemon games, maybe it's just I've gotten older. This feels like some of the boss battles in this game felt like more of a challenge than any challenge that a Pokemon game has given me since like literally maybe Diamond and Pearl, Platinum. Yeah, I think the most challenging thing that like Pokemon ever did, according to the community, is like the Volo fight in Arceus, and even that I didn't get it because I was I was so, I don't know, my Pokemon were so jacked up by the time that I got to the point of wanting to get to Volo or whatever, that it just, yeah, it's I think there's just more to do with the battle systems than I think Pokemon has been doing with it. And so this game was like a breath of fresh air for me. Not to bash Pokemon like a ton, like I still did enjoy Arceus. I still did enjoy Sword and Shield, actually. I didn't enjoy the raid battles or like the length, or it's just the pacing, man. Like, I think I would be fine if Pokemon wanted to put me through all this if there was just an ability like in this game or like in so many other turn-based games to just go faster, man. Like, we get it. It's just, I don't know, just the option is nice. But yeah, didn't mean to end it on like bashing Pokemon there. I think I could have definitely ended this video like 3 minutes ago, so maybe that was just a little bit too much of an ad there, or anti-ad for Pokemon. But overall, like, been really enjoying my time in this game. It's been taking up all my time basically, and I really think if you're on the fence, or if you want to try something different, or if you don't think you know, a Switch 2 is worth it. I don't know if that should be your primary inspiration, but I think this game is amazing, and I love what they did with it, and I hope to see more in the form of like new games and not just in the form of like paid DLC for the same thing. But I'll take what I can get with the monster catching genre that we have today. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about, and I appreciate whoever watching, and maybe I'll make a video again soon. Yeah, thanks.